In today's video, you'll see how toxic positivity is damaging your work, your life, and your relationships, as well as 5 actionable ideas on how you can fix it. Welcome to Better Today, a place where young leaders like you can find work-life inspiration. If you're new here, stick around until the end because I want to hear your thoughts about today's topic. When I was 24 years old, I was introduced to the concept of positive thinking. I even used the hashtag Team Positive for years. Yeah, hashtag. Positive thinking in theory isn't all that bad. You concentrate on the good stuff, the silver lining. But where do you draw the line between healthy positive thinking and toxic positive thinking? Toxic positivity is when you show and see only the good side, the positive, sunny, happy-go-lucky side of anything. You shut off everything that can be seen as negative or bad. It's also about actively sweeping under the rug anything that doesn't fit your worldview or anything that you don't agree with. So how can you tell if you're a victim of toxic positivity? Here are some examples. See if you've caught yourself doing any one of them. Example number 1. Your college batchmate just lost his job and your first words to him were, "Okay lang yan. It could be worse." Your friend loses a loved one and you send a text message saying, "It's fine, just think happy thoughts." You fail with a work project and you think to yourself, "It's alright, it wasn't my fault anyway." Did you see what was going on there? Toxic positivity is dismissive of other people's emotions. It doesn't take into consideration that sometimes things are crappy, and it also plainly ignores negative feelings completely. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever experienced toxic positivity in your life. I want to hear your stories. Toxic positivity is bad for you, it's unhealthy, and it hurts you in several ways. The first problem with toxic positivity is that it's terrible for your career. You cannot be an empathic and understanding leader if you dismiss your team members' feelings and you can't put yourself in their shoes, especially when it comes to team members who might be struggling with something that you don't completely understand. You just won't be able to relate, and people can easily see that they won't be able to get any sort of leadership or mentorship from you. You will also find it difficult to develop as a person if you can't understand that yes, sometimes people do have crappy days and days where they're just not at 100%. You also won't be open to criticism, and no one improves without feedback or criticism. The second problem is that it hurts your personal life and your personal growth in the long run. You won't reach out to people for help or for advice because you simply don't get that there are some aspects of your life that you need help on. Some people call it pride, but I reckon a lot of it has to do with toxic positivity. You might be saying to yourself, "I'm not hurting anyone, so why should I change?" Our culture of labeling anyone who gives feedback as KJ or basag trip is part of this big problem of toxic positivity. We've refused to accept the idea that what we're saying and what we're doing could actually be really harmful for us and for other people. The third problem is that relationships will suffer. What if your friends are going through a lot of pain and a lot of trauma? You can't just go up to them and say, "Okay lang yan," because things aren't okay, and it's okay for things to not be okay. Feeling sad, disappointed, or angry are normal emotions and are normal feelings that people go through every single day. A lot of toxic positivity is advice that people dish out when words aren't even necessary to begin with. Saying things like, "It could be worse," is terrible advice to somebody who's feeling like their whole world has crashed on them. Sometimes our friends and family don't need our words of positivity. Sometimes they just need us to show up and just be there with them. Sometimes they just need us to sit beside them in silence. How can you fix toxic positivity and punch it out of your life? I've got 5 ideas that you can try today. Number 1 is to start accepting that it's okay to have negative emotions. People get upset, angry, and anxious, and that's totally fine. True positivity is knowing that these negative emotions can coexist with feelings of hope and reassurance. Number 2 is to give yourself permission to have an outlet for bad juju. Exercise and martial arts, for example, are outlets that some of my friends do to express all of these negativity out of their lives. They say it's a great way to get rid of pent-up anger and pent-up emotions. Instead of sweeping it under the rug, they've given themselves permission to express it in a healthy way. And guess what? Almost always, they feel so much better after. Number 3, don't fight other people's battles for them. You might be tempted to jump in with solutions and what you think are answers. But unless you're trying to save someone's life, literally, your effort might come off as nosy or you're being a meddler. I've learned way too late in my life that coming in with solutions and answers just do a lot more harm than good, especially when it comes to relationships with people. Try to give others time and space first and let them figure things out, and come in when they ask for your help. Number 4 is that presence or showing up speaks a lot more than just mere toxic positivity. Sometimes a friend and a loved one just need someone to sit beside them as they process these negative emotions and feelings. There's no need to say something, there's no need to prepare a motivational speech for them. Your presence is often the only thing that they need. The thing is, if they're ready to talk, they're ready to talk, so give them time. Number 5, you don't have to solve anything. You might feel some pressure to dish out words of wisdom or advice or a comment, especially if you think that you know the answer to their struggles. Or sometimes you think that you know what they're going through. But some situations aren't looking for solutions. They're just looking for you to be there as a friend or as a loved one. Sometimes negative emotions and negative feelings just need to be felt. Today's question of the day is, have you encountered toxic positivity before? Let me know in the comment what your experience was. I want to hear about it. If you found this video informative or helpful, share it with a friend, hit like, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope that your approach for positivity is better today.